All right. Okay, we're live. Welcome everybody. This is going to be the 16-team baby conference draft review by us old folks. So there are currently 5 of us on the call right now. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm Goose. This is my second season playing in the VBLS / VBLN is, we don't gotta talk about that right now. But this is my second season. First season went 2-5. Had a really great time. Learned an immense amount of information, not only from the players in game, but also out of the game within the Discord channel and whatnot. But I'm looking forward to another fantastic season, regardless of how the season actually goes for me. It's always a fantastic time, and for those watching and listening, I definitely recommend participating if you haven't yet already. And if you have, then you're a genius. So I'm going to hand it off to the next person that I see in the channel, which is going to be James.
All right. Well, it's me. It's James. You're not getting a resume from me. I'm coach of the Cincinnati Chinos, and I'm drinking Coors Light.
Nice. Hey, folks. I'm the Jordan. I'm going to be presenting a lot of opinions as fact, but I don't know what I'm talking about a third of the time. Please disagree with me. Let's have some fun. I am drinking White Claw, black cherry, the only flavor that matters.
Hello, everybody. It's Daddy, the mastermind behind the Daddy plan. I am hoping to put as many teams as possible in D tier tonight. So my co-hosts here are going to have to try to stop me. And I am drinking some kind of Japanese whiskey that I can't pronounce.
Alrighty, that leaves me. What's up? It's Poppin. I'm here for the sole purpose of defending my take that Spritzy is a top 3 fairy type in the format. I will be leaving after that. And I am drinking Gentleman Jack with a Pepsi Zero. Because that's the only soda I have in my house.
That is classy shit, Poppin.
Oh, it does not have the best aftertaste.
That'll fade with time.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, real quick. This is the Daddy plan, courtesy of Daddy, who is on the line. But every Mon drafted or that played more than once last season, not allowed. So we've got a kind of low tier, but kind of just jank and weird format where there's some great Mons, a lot of mid Mons, and a lot of trash. We had to draft them all. So like a lot of stuff that you're used to seeing, like on the right side here, Fake Out, Tailwind. A lot of it is like super hard to find. So like we got to adjust our expectations. We might need to like figure things out as we start rating and realize, oh yeah, all of these teams are jank, but we'll figure it out.
Something that I think was really interesting that I don't think a lot of us noticed, like heading into the draft, is how rare special attackers were. Did you guys notice that?
I did. I ran the numbers to see like what the averages were. In the physical side was like 10 points higher on average and the mean. Like even though Xurkitree is up there with 170 whatever, it like the special attacking as a whole was severely underrepresented. So any teams that took advantage of that on purpose, you're ahead of the game. I knew it and I still didn't do that. So
Yeah, I think James mentioned it in his video.
Yeah, I kind of accidentally took advantage of it, and then when I was like looking over my team, I was like, oh great, everything's a physical attacker and I have great physical defense, so great news.
Don't be so humble, you planned that.
I wish. I think I made my plan pretty clear. The Jazz plan: stay open, search for you all watch my video. I don't need
of course we did. I watched it all the way through 3 times.
Thanks.
Trying to get the ad revenue
exactly once. But yeah, we'll get to James's draft in the Daddy conference session, which we're gonna do in a couple of days. I'll be emceeing that one. But let's Goose have the day. It's baby conference time. What's our first team?
We're looking at BBRAFF's team. Actually, I'm wondering if I can just. Oh yeah, dude. This is my own personal doc, so don't panic if I'm overwriting stuff because I made a copy, so we can kind of mess with this one.
This is going to be setting expectations really high. I think this is a very, very good team.
I think this team's kind of like emblematic of this whack format, right? Like we have Zapdos, legitimate top tier, and then all the way down to you look at Darumaka, you're like, oh, 90 attacks, not too bad. Hustle.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he got Araquanid really late too, and I think that's actually a really strong Pokemon in the format. It was like 16 points or something.
Yeah,
that
it was
felt like a lot.
super pricey. I was talking to Raph about that, and I think someone who was telling me earlier that thing is like when you account for Water Bubble, it's the strongest attacker in the format. I think physically and specially.
And no burns.
As long as it's
from
using water
Bubble?
type moves.
Oh
Right.
my god. And very few Intimidate mons. Yeah, this thing has every opportunity to just go off.
And Wide Guard.
True, which is also
Huge.
very uncommon.
Yeah, and nice to have on a non-rock type in this format as well. Yeah, most of the Wide Guard mons were either fighting or rock, and most of them weren't good also. So
Yeah. He also has Intimidate, he has Fake Out, he has Follow Me. A lot of teams are missing at least one of those things.
Only 3 redirectors in the entire format. Togepi's going to be huge here because Araquanid and Zapdos can do a lot with one turn, but there's also setup threats like the Como-O has like a bajillion setup moves.
it's got every setup move, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Togepi's unironically the best redirector we have, and the fact that it went round 7, that's kind of absurd.
Because that's all it does, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is 11 points, 11.4 Follow Me.
And it's worth every single one of those points.
Yeah, Follow Me twice, and then is
One
dead.
thing, right. One thing I like about this team that I was thinking about, because I thought Mr. Rhyme was on the board, and then I like 5 picks, and I was like, oh shit, it's not there. And mine was gone, so I was kind of SOL. But I think Screen Cleaner can be pretty huge with how few mons have Intimidate and Snarl, and how many have screens. I think a lot of teams are going to be reliant on something like that to beef up their defenses, where mine just deletes them on switch in.
And then can Fake Out.
While also being a super support dude outside of that.
Yeah. I think one thing
Tentacruel in round 5 confuses me a little bit. I feel like that was a little too early for that, but
I
He
found it
sells for
hard to get
identical,
Haze.
James?
I still don't have Haze, and I'm pretty sad about it. So Tentacruel having Haze, it also having Knockoff. Goose, if you wouldn't mind adjusting the format to Galar. Tentacruel is a rare gifted mon with Knockoff in Gen 8. If once you like edit something in the top row, it'll recalibrate and show that Tentacruel is his only Knockoff mon. If you like delete and re-add something.
Oh, I see what you mean.
There you go.
If I could spell it.
There you go.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
Knockoff, got Haze, got a lot of random moves. A fast Icy Wind is good. He's got a couple of like quality Icy Winds. Like that's like the main speed control in this format. So
Yeah, that's like the ideal. Well, I mean, the ideal is the very fast Tailwind that I have, and that I don't remember who drafted Talonflame, but the drafted Talonflame and so has Gale Wings. But yeah, Icy Winds and to a lesser extent Electrowebs is really your main option, right? And yeah, Tentacruel is fast, faster than you think it is, and you know, base 100 is fast enough that you're going to be able to catch a lot of stuff with an Icy Wind.
you got it.
Yes, but I'm speaking of speed tiers, like the range from 20 all the way to 145 is pretty wild.
Yeah, it was hard to get good speed tiers in this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
even though Togepi's not going to do anything in Trick Room, or
Yeah.
Raquin it is. And that's
you know,
terrifying.
his slower mons though, Togepi and Darumaka are 2 of them.
That's true.
So it's Aggron and Araquanid are really the only slow mons on this team, right?
It's
I guess
true.
that's
So
fair.
what you can do with this team is you can run 5 fast attackers and then a Togepi with After You.
After
So
You,
just
true.
in case of Trick Room. So it's like a 1-mon Trick Room answer.
Yeah, good.
But
point.
yeah, but otherwise this team's not going to be playing much in Trick Room. I think he went all in on the power here. Some of like the defensive synergy isn't really quite there. Some of the speed clumping, like there are like some of the unloved weird mons that have their own little issues. But I think like the potential is really here with this team. I think it's a really, really strong team, and I think we should put it on the board.
Agreed.
I agree.
Where's
Where's BBRAFF at? Libertyville, Luxrays. I'm thinking high B, low A probably.
Fair.
I think I'm
gonna
gonna put
it A just for Zapdos, honestly.
yeah, I'm gonna put it in A as well, and then look for a reason to bring it down to B tier.
I like it in A with the
thinking there's
potential to move
better-
it up. Actually,
Yeah,
move it up,
you can
really.
you can put it.
Interesting.
Y'all can put it wherever you want. Goose is the MC. His screen's going to be the screen, but I'm putting it in top tier.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'll probably take the consensus for at least this one based on, you know, the average of what everyone says, and it sounds like A tier is about average, so slap it there for now. And then we can always readjust afterward as we move along.
But yeah, also I'm playing Time Cop, so it's not me being impatient. I'm just trying to keep the recording under 2 hours.
We all agreed to that ahead of time. Jordan's the Time Cop. No problem. Who we got next?
Ballhawk.
It's Mr. Ballhawk. Wouldn't be here without him.
True.
Before any of us even knew him. Well, you might have known him before, Jordan, but he is a living legend.
I didn't tell him to join. It's just the celebrity of VBL is starting to reach the greater Draft League community.
I know.
Well, when we keep top fouring and winning EGC tournaments and
wait, who's this
joins.
we? It's Tay.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just happy to have,
I claim Tay. Tay is one of ours.
Tay is we.
And
Yeah.
Darkside.
And also, yeah, exactly. And also, everybody,
Hey,
everybody
Darkside is a
that
DBLN
joins,
coach. I want to make that clear. I claim him.
everybody that joins doesn't leave again. So we just keep accumulating. We're an unstoppable juggernaut. We're a Katamari Damacy.
Speaking of
small,
snowballs,
part of the
Blaster Year. Ooh, segues.
Oh,
Well done.
that's a top tier segue right there.
Two Trick Room setters to make it good.
4.
Starmie. What's the fourth one?
Duskull, Executor, Nihilego.
Nidaliga. Yeah, Nidaliga. Which
I think
I
it's
still,
the wackest trick room setter.
I still just don't get Nidaliga. I just think I never will. Like I don't understand the Pokemon.
So I've been against Nihilego. I've just been generally afraid to draft it my whole time as a player here. But I'm thinking here is a really great time to be a Nihilego. A really good draft for Nihilego because this team went really hard in Trick Room, which I generally don't recommend. I'm a little wary of Trick Room without Dynamax and the ability to just win a whole game with one Trick Room. But if you're gonna put a lot into Trick Room, then you need to be able to win with your few remaining fast threats. And Nihilego can routinely 4-0 games. And so you need to have a Mon that's faster than max speed Nihilego. And so that's how you win under Trick Room, is you force them to invest in speed, and then you bulk out and you win with Trick Room. So I think it's a really good time to be a Nihilego, especially because it has Trick Room. And so you're going to protect in front of a Nihilego, and then it's going to set Trick Room, and it's going to be really tough to deal with.
Rock attacks are very strong in the format too.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, definitely. It's tough to have a draft squad that doesn't, best case scenario, neutral defensively against Rock, and that's often a net weakness. But in this weirdo format, it's especially.
Yeah, I think this team also does a really good job of speed tiers, and less like spread apart like BBRAFF's team was, which isn't necessarily a bad thing depending on how you play it, but like this team is like very incrementally increasing in speed, like all the way up the ladder, so there's a lot of variability here. This is also the team I'm playing week 1, so I've been looking at it. Like the average of 81 special attack is above average for the format. I think the average special attack is 75, or sorry, in this conference the average special attack is 75. So having any special attack advantage is really strong, and I think it was brought up earlier too. But most of this specific conference and probably the format in general is physically oriented. So special defense is also harder to come by. So having higher special attacks on a bunch of mons can really deal damage to a lot of mons that aren't really built to handle it.
True. Regarding speed,
how...
I think it's like pretty extreme, as in there's like a lot of Trick Room here. Maybe it's preference, but I think it's too much. But if you're gonna have a lot of Trick Room, then like Bolt End is a great start of your top end of your speed tier with Nuzzle. It can definitely win you in fast mode. Like Braviary is quality Tailwind in this economy, So like I think he's packed in a lot of speed into a few slots, which is really good for being a threat on both ends.
Scrafty's pretty huge too.
Scrafty is amazing on this team. The fake out with the humongous pressure of Glass. One thing I wanted to mention is that his two most obviously offensive mons in Glaster and Nihilego have just the auto snowball built in. If they get a single KO, they're off to the races, and Scrafty and the rest of the whole team is there to support that incredibly well.
True.
And maybe get some Moxie boosts and do it themselves one week.
There you go.
Yeah, Scrafty's good support for Nihilego too, to give it that intimidate and a fake out on turn 1, and then maybe it can just snowball from there. So
Yeah, this team desperately needs to dodge physical attacks.
The top end of the team's really good, I will say. Like the second half is full of some kind of sussy wussy
Suspect,
picks. But
yeah.
if
I like
like,
Executor.
they
I like
all have
Executor.
their potential here, especially the Boltund, the Turtonator. I think Whiscash
Yeah.
was a steal for a couple of points.
Yes, 2 points. I was looking for water ground types after Quagsire went.
There's 3 of them, so
Yeah, and
Executor has really high special attack, guys. I think that Pokemon is kind of getting slept on a little bit. It's pretty bulky. It's got a lot of weaknesses, but
Is there
it's
a-
that Trick Room. It can sweep, you know.
is there a sun mode here? Like, is there something else setting Sunny Day for Executor to sweep
Does
Chlorophyll?
Can we put
Whiscash.
Sunny Day on there just in case Boltund has it? If Boltund has it, then that's actual a mode right there.
I think they stopped giving Sunny Day to everybody.
Oh no, everything has
think
Sunny Day.
again.
No, no Boltund, unfortunately.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm saying the
So
new
maybe
Pokemon don't
Braviary.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Braviary is
You
the
might as well be
fastest
doing
thing
Tailwind,
with
though.
Sunny Day.
Can't win
You
Sunny.
definitely can win a game off of a surprise Sunny Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could protect Sunny Day, you know.
Yeah, I think this team's pretty strong overall. I'm not a fan of Wigglytuff. I think it's a bad Pokemon and people shouldn't draft it. But
But it's fairy type in the format with limited fairies.
I still
sucks.
think
It doesn't even have
I still think you
Moonblast.
shouldn't be drafting it.
Yeah.
I think Wigglytuff is trash. I think it's a bad Pokemon, and however many points that it got drafted in both conferences, and however many points they paid too many.
I think Jigglypuff is better. Like, considerably better, actually.
I'm willing to entertain that argument.
All right, do we
Renguard.
think A?
But-
B?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think.
I don't
think
think
I
this
like-
team is as good as BBRAFF.
Yeah,
Come
I don't
on
think it's
now.
as good as Braff's either.
I'm putting Braffs in top and this one in A.
Actually, yeah, I think A also, and in the context of now having looked at 2 teams, I like Braff's a little more.
Yeah,
So
move it
I
up.
doubt I'll be moving it down, but I have 2 teams in A myself right now.
Sounds
Well,
good. I'll leave this. This seems a lot of. I think most of you argue top A or low S. So I'll leave it there for now. We can always revisit. All right.
Are we doing time cop?
Like, we're at, like, more than 10 minutes, but we'll get there.
This is Mono's team.
MonoMallard. The
Holy
double
rock
wheel.
weakness back, man. Like,
Yeah,
this is
Lego's gonna go
understandable.
crazy.
Drafting is hard, and then you remove half of the good Pokemon. Drafting is even harder. But this rock weakness is inexcusable. There, I said it.
Yeah,
Wait, we
that's
gotta get Galarian Stunfisk in there. He needs that quad resist.
rough.
How the heck? This is unacceptable.
Oh yeah, that is weird. Why is it?
I checked all
Okay,
these.
so maybe it's not that bad. Maybe.
Oh,
Okay.
you know what? I saw this. I was going through the doc. This is I copied this off an older version, I think. And Galarian Stunfisk isn't in the Galar column for some reason. It's okay though. We'll pretend he has a
I
4x.
tested
We
these
did.
last
Not
night and they
unjust.
were fine. So
Yeah, if you copied it from the ones I sent, that's probably why.
You're not in doc
cheat.
version 6.11.1?
No way, man. I made my cop. Oh, never mind. I don't know what the fuck is up.
I literally just used these. Like, I
Maybe
just-
if we change it to
Wikipedia.
Sword Shield, will that work?
Oh,
Whatever,
Is that
we'll
gonna
do
screw
it.
everything
Yep,
up?
there it
It's
is.
fine.
That's
For
fine.
this, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to give our introduction for this team?
Well, I like Porygon too.
True.
It's pretty nice for the Trick Room mode. In terms of who will be attacking in Trick Room, that's a bit more up in the air. You don't want to rely on Colossal, but Slowbro's pretty decent. In terms of the fast mode, there's not too much, I don't think. I don't see a fast Icy Winder. I don't see, I guess, a Molga for Electro Web. But that means you're sacrificing another slot for Molga. But this team might be able to make use of that. I really like Dragonite here. I just wish there was more to support it.
I'm thinking like a Dugtrio Dragonite, maybe.
Right. Like I want this team to delete the steel types, which Dugtrio does, and then make sure there's no fairies, not even a Wigglytuff, and then Dragonite one-hit KOs everything. So, I guess Scolipede could do that with the poison jab, but that's not much coming off of 80 base power, 100 attack.
Yeah, Scolipede really wants a Swords Dance,
Mhm.
and for it to be singles.
Yeah, it's too thrill to get one.
Yeah, I agree. I think Dragonite has the potential to be, if, with good play and good prep, I think Dragonite has potential to be like a 20 kill Mon or something like that, 25 kill Mon. But if, if people are just going to be pointing ice shard plus ice coverage at it every week or whatever, then I just don't see that there's enough to support the Dragonite here.
Yeah, this team seems like it kind of likes Trick Room, but it's also pretty frail. I mean, Torracat with Intimidate is pretty nice, but he also has 2 Mons that are going to like Eviolite. They don't necessarily need it every time. P2 probably does, right? So those first 2 picks kind of, set me off a little bit too.
I think Mono wasn't around for round 2, so he got like an auto pick.
That is the one that he left, though, after he picked his first one, so.
Whoops. The Dragonite's so good here. It's like with supports, it's like the best Mon here, and I just wish it had a little bit fewer like ice weaknesses and rock weaknesses that made it like that it could kind of be under the radar a little bit, but it's just not, right? I'm bringing every ice beam and every rock slide. This team is fast, so I'll say like I'm not always going to be able to get my rock slide flinches because like Emolga with Nuzzle and Doug Trio, Scarf Bulldoze and stuff. So it's going to be when it can take KOs and not get hit, then it's going to be good. And Lurantis, I think, is really good. Like, it's got effectively Defiant for Intimidate, and it's like a good Trick Room sweeper. But I would just wish there was a little bit more support and like synergy with the main offensive pieces.
I guess
Wishy-Washy huge.
Yeah, Wishy-Washy.
Can you make it Wishy-Washy school, and we'll bump all of Mono stats? Dash school.
I didn't realize I had that form. Easy. Oh, baby. Oh, look at that.
Everything looks better now.
That does change everything.
Oh,
Huge, man.
As much as I do like Wishy-Washy, it gets like 5 moves.
Oh, that's a shame. I mean, if it's got Scald and Ice Beam, like, it's probably got everything it needs, right?
It also has 45 HP, so like when it gets hit, it's no longer in school form, you know?
Yeah, it is often
What's
a one and
75%
done.
of 45?
31 and a half or so.
Right, so scratch that, put 31 and a half, because this thing is not a Mon once under 25. I guess my main thing about this team is besides Dragonite, nothing here really like scares me. The rest of it, I feel like I can handle this one way or another.
Slowbro, Iron Defense, Body Press, and P2 in general scare me, but yeah, I'm with you. Like, there's you can kind of focus on the main threats because there's just not quite as many as the teams we've seen before.
Yeah, this is a team that's going to win or lose in prep a lot more than it's going to win or lose in the actual match. Because either Mono's going to, get it together is not what I meant to say. Make something awesome happen, or their opponent is,
Yeah, you could get like Porygon 2 in an endgame scenario where like you just can't kill it, and then it just recovers, Tri-Attack, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, whatever you want to do, and then like I think that could be a scenario because Porygon 2 can be an absolute nightmare to remove, so it can just sit on the field and click buttons, especially like if you run download.
Yeah, we might all be sleeping on P2 as just a generally unkillable mon for this format. Like, if we can just run Scarf Torracat or something, Sash Torracat. So, I mean, Mono is capable of heat builds. We've seen a lot of good stuff out of him. Totally. So we'll just need to see him bring it for this season.
Yeah. I'm putting 2W into C tier myself. I think.
Same here.
Yeah.
I got it in D.
Might recalibrate, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
You weren't lying, Daddy. You're here to dole out the D.
I'm putting as many teams in there as I can. One of many, boys.
We're going to flash to your screen. It's going to be all of them.
My goal is a normal distribution.
What's up, Sora? Welcome to the league.
All right, I'm about to go in because I've been looking at this team.
Do it.
Welcome, and down to D tier you go.
Yep. Yeah. See you later. Team sucks. I'm gonna crush you week 7. So
Dhelmise, D tier was named for you.
S tier mon, D tier team. Yeah. So this team is I think personally very very strong for his first draft. He has by a 30-point margin the highest base stat total in at least my specific division. I don't know about the entire conference, but I would argue it probably also has the highest base stat total in the entire conference. when I talk to him a little bit, you tend to focus on in this format. Like, if you can get good stats, it takes a little bit of the edge off. And that is exactly what we see here. I like half the team at least has like base stat like over 500, if not 580. You got, our Galarian Articuno, who I wanted to draft personally, which runs Tailwind, Trick Room. It gets the Holy Trinity if you add Imprison into that mix, which is an absolute nightmare. You can be as Psycho, run Choice Scarf, like Protect, Imprison, Tailwind, and Trick Room. I don't think that would be good, but you could do it if you're really scared about a specific speed mode. Bouffalant here is really good in Trick Room. I'm sad to see it transition to his team from mine. Last season, he did get a Fire type, which was very uncommon. Crawdon is incredible in Trick Room. Registeel is kind of like Porygon 2, where it's going to be incredibly difficult to remove. Burns, Burns are going to be one of the major ways to deal with its offensive output if it's going to be a physical set, but you can't even guarantee that it's going to be physical because it could run like Charge Beam for special. Clear Body to prevent stat drops. Iron Defense Body Press, as we mentioned before, can be a staple in this format, which is going to be extremely tough. Thunderous can do virtually anything you want it to. With Prankster, one of the very few Prankster mons left in the format. Lycanroc Dusk with Tough Claws is a rock type, and everybody knows that rock types are tough in the format. Going to be going in. And then Uxie is also a defensive wall with Trick Room, but I'll shut up now.
That was excellent, Goose. I will echo the numbers are great. I will also add to the numbers are great argument by saying that, like, we see the numbers, but also the multipliers are important, and this team also has multipliers. So on top of the big numbers, Guts is a 50% attack boost. Adaptability is another big attack boost. Tough Claws is a big boost. Defiant and Competitive are a 50% or greater boost. If we can get in Rain, Poliwrath got some boosts. So or Sap Sipper Bouffalant. So huge numbers, and then you multiply them, and then you win. So that's kind of a recipe for success right there. I can point to a couple of little issues, which is the lack of fake out and the lack of any mon that is immune to fake out, like Inner Focus or Ghost or anything. This team is going to really hate that it doesn't have fake out. And maybe Sora finds a cheap fake out just for it to have that threat in future weeks. Also, the lack of wide guard could be concerning. I might just discharge everything on the team. Electric weakness, a bit of an issue. I don't think Eldegoss is a real Pokemon. Someone can correct me. But so there's a couple of things missing, but the strong parts are so strong that I'm pretty optimistic overall.
Eldegoss actually has a pretty good support move pool, pretty high special defense. I think maybe he wanted a grass type to fill a kind of a support role is what I would guess. But I think Rapidash is a steal because there's not a lot of fairies floating around, and this thing was 4 points or something,
6 points.
6.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, very
low,
low.
and it hits pretty hard and it's pretty fast. So
Yeah,
I think that could be really strong.
It gets all the same coverage moves that real Rapidash gets, but stab on its play rough,
and a lot of dragons in this format,
and terrible abilities, but. If Galarian Rapidash had good abilities, it would be a 13 or 14 point mod.
It also gets Imprison and Trick Room and other crazy shit.
Yeah, it gets.
Oh wow,
it gets some nice stuff. Yeah.
I think one thing I think is going to be huge
deep.
on this team. I think Thundurus is going to be absolutely massive on this team. Beyond the fact that it's a Thundurus, and you obviously have to look out for that. Just the pairing it has with Lycanroc and Crawdon and Poliwrath. You can set up your Rain. You can Scary Face them and then smash them with Adaptability. You can also taunt them before they taunt your Registeel. I think this is a team made for Thundurus to support.
Good points.
Yeah, and it can also run Defiant pretty regularly because you have Articuno, which can fill that Tailwind role too. It's pretty decently fast Tailwind setter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as you want to bring Intimidate against this team, you're gonna piss your pants. But it'd be so nice to get that -1 on Crawdon, Lycanroc, Flareon, Bouffalant,
cheeky
Poliwrath, and Rapidash. Jeez, oh my god, man!
Cheeky Rain mode with Prankster Rain Dance and Poliwrath.
Yep.
Poliwrath's so good. This is an S tier team.
Crawdon, just to take advantage of the rain, make the adaptability waterfalls even scarier.
Now we Crab Hammer, baby.
Oh, sure, yeah, Crab Hammer. Even better. Just roll those dice, right? And Crab Hammer, 80.
Is this better than BBRAFF's team?
onto the ratings?
I don't. So I did a quick look back. I don't think it's better than BBRAFF's team, but I do think it's better than the Gale Wings. So I'm gonna put it in the middle of A tier, and there's no way BBRAFF goes down to B tier at this point. I've looked at two worse teams that I also think go in A tier. So
I think it's better. I like those big
I
numbers.
like it better too. This is my favorite team.
I'm putting it in A, but it's a great team.
I shouldn't say it's my favorite team because we didn't get to Uncle Steve's team yet.
Oh God, don't talk about that one.
I don't know how to rate that one. We'll get to it when we get to it.
All right.
Who next?
Next up, we have Termnal.
Hey, the rain team.
It is finally time.
Philadelphia Frillish.
So that's a fair amount of red.
Yeah. Yikes.
I've never seen a net with grass weakness, ever.
It's funny. I was thinking the same thing when I looked at this earlier.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, 3 water types. 1 is 4x plus a ground type, or plus 2 ground types. Yowzas.
Yeah.
A road
Rock,
cut needs
rock,
to team
water, ground.
And he didn't get Kingdra or Ludicolo, which is tough. I mean, Barraskewda's good. And, there's just some other Pokemon that can take advantage of the rain a little bit, I guess. Like Verzion, maybe, gets a little...
Yeah, I would have maybe liked to see that Dreadnought as one of the other water rock types. Like, I think Dreadnought is probably, like, the worst of those 5 to 6 point water rock types. Omastar, Kabutops, Dreadnought, Relicanth.
Damn,
The
an
ones that-
encyclopedia over here.
I was looking at a lot of water
I was
rocks.
too. I think a lot of us were. You know what? It gets Strong Jaw, right? And it has, Crunch and some of the other Fang moves. So
Yeah, trap something in, hit it hard with stronger, yeah.
And its stats aren't bad. Special defense is a little low, but HP is high and defense is decent. So
I'll give my good stuff here. So, I think extremes are good in this game, right? You want to be the fastest or the strongest, and you want, to just win by being, by posing a question that just can't be answered. And I think going in on 4 water types or whatever it is, and particularly the Barraskewda, and the Butterfree, I think there's a really, really strong half of the team. Now, I think the other half of the team doesn't pair with the first half of the team, but Barraskewda could take a ton of KOs here. Politoed could be a top-tier support for the format, the first pick overall. And Butterfree, one of the few redirectors, could really help Barraskewda get killing, or something else get boosting, or hazing, or parasonging, or whatever the case may be. I think Exploud as the last pick was a really great pick. It's actually the strongest special attacker on this whole team, with Specs Boom Burst or something. So there's extreme power on this team, and it feels like there's too much in the same direction in some ways, like a ton of shared weaknesses. But some teams will just not be able to get off the ground in the first place due to the rain offense. And so I think, and with Sneasel's support and Virizion, I think this team has a good chance to steamroll a few games and get steamrolled in some others.
Yeah, I do like the supports on this team a lot. Sneasel, Butterfree, Politoed. You got Rage Powder, you got Tailwind, you got super accurate Sleep Powders, Icy Wind, Helping Hands. There's a lot to like in the supports in this team. I think there's going to be a little bit of, okay, you've done all that great supporting, but what are the mons you're supporting?
Barraskewda.
Barraskewda's awesome. Virizion, the worst of the Musketeers.
But good here.
I agree. It's good here.
Classic
But
beat
then
up
I guess
justified.
Golurk is your...
Just not afraid of Golurk in any circumstance, unfortunately.
Agreed.
I mean, 124 is a big number, but...
Yeah, well,
I think
we
Virizion
have
annoying
quite
one.
enough speed control for it.
Yeah, I think Virizion has to do too much heavy lifting here, being the only grass and electric resist. This team would love a dragon. It'll make the fairy weakness worse, but you don't really need Crooked Rock or something like that.
Not much on the special attacking side of things either on this team.
Yeah. Bring Reflect.
Yeah, when Politoed is one of your heavy hitters, I don't know. I don't feel great about that.
Yeah, 90, 90, 91. Virizion tied for second highest special attacker. Oh, third highest, I guess, because Explode is 91. But,
Hey, don't forget about Lunatone.
Yeah.
95.
We can forget about Lunatone.
Lunatone's not on the. Oh my! Does this version not have the Bronze or Lunatone trade that I'm looking at? I'm looking at the one that Poppin.
Does it have Bronzor?
Yeah, it's still got Bronzor.
Yeah,
Lunatone's a big upgrade, I would say.
Yes, I agree. Lunatone is a big upgrade.
It's a semi-real Pokemon.
Emphasis on semi.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I think
Let's
this
put it on the
team
board.
Yeah, I think this team has options. If you play well with it, which Mono's a really good player. I think he can.
But this one isn't Mono. This is Termnal. Welcome to the
I'm
BBRAFF.
stupid. I'm thinking about the prior team.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 2 teams ago.
Been a VVLN player for a while.
Excellent logo. Also, I'm gonna put it in the B tier.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it at the probably. Yeah, I'm putting it B as well, and probably gonna put some other teams ahead of it.
The logo is S tier, but I'm putting this team in C tier.
Yeah, I'm putting it around Monos.
Sounds like the average is like right around here. All right.
Who's next?
Oh no. All right. Well, do your worst. This is me.
Oh.
Just put it in D tier and move on.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's an excellent team, but that's the headline. But I do want to actually spit facts. So, not a lot of Mons cannot die to Galarian Zapdos in general, and in this format in particular. We have a top tier support in Liepard. We have amazing type synergy and general synergy with Magnezone. All of the weaknesses covered between Gyapdos and Magnezone. We have good speed control, so Magnezone can actually get to do things. Tailwind, double Tailwind, good Trick Room setters, Liepard shenanigans. We have really excellent type synergy overall, besides don't look at the ice column, but like a lot of threat, power, speed control, disruption, type synergy. This is a huge improvement over Goose's first draft, and I think this will be one of the top teams we rank today.
I think this is the best team I've seen so far, honestly. Every single thing on this team makes me sweat. Like, I don't feel confident facing any of this. Besides, even Den, which I've shat on before, like 101 speed with Electroweb, that's not too bad for this format.
And
that's
Eerie
actually
Impulse
nice.
and Nuzzle and Helping Hand and Charm,
Yeah.
like even the last picks on this team are really good.
Yeah, I think Den is actually pretty damn good, like for 3 points or whatever you paid for it. And the synergy with those top, 4 Mons on the team is just so strong. Magnezone is so good in this format. I think everybody really slept on Magnezone in this draft.
For 10 points too, easy.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And another thing, this team is so physically biased, but you have the biggest Intimidate deterrent in existence with Gyapdos right off there. So you can never feel safe. Like you have a easy backup plan of dealing with this team and its offensive potential.
He also has Centiskorch, who can go special, right? It can, surprise you with special, or can run physical. And then he also has Dragalge, which has adaptability, so the special attack stat's actually higher than it looks, right?
True.
I like this
Yeah, I
team
like
a lot.
team.
But why did you take Liepard instead of Purloin? I have to ask.
Because I don't like Perlin. I wanted Liepard.
It's for the Liepard Pro Line
Good
matchup.
answer.
So we can fade
I
out
want.
first.
Well, it is mostly just because of the speed. I knew when I was
Yeah.
going into it that, having top speed Pokemon is kind of hard to get. Like I think the average speed is like right around like 70 or something. Very very middling, and having anything above 80, 90 would be pretty decent in this format. And having a 106 speed, which is arguably not a good thing, it being my fastest mon, but I think with Prankster it kind of just goes off.
Yeah, you can get off a Prankster move turn 1, and then if you live with your Sash, you might be able to get off a second move, right? Because you're fast enough. So I guess that makes sense.
Hey Goose, can you switch it back to Galar for the format? Does Liepard actually get knockoff?
Kind of doubt it.
Ah, all right.
No.
Still, it gets Snarl. There you go. There's a use for your 106 speed.
Oh, we've got 2 actual Hazemons. Because I'm lest we be too nice. I was thinking for how do we actually beat this team. I was thinking maybe like Iron Defense in front of it, but no, we've got 2 Hazes, so I don't know what to do.
Yeah, Yoo-hoo, Registeel. I see you.
Ingler is pretty good too. Ally Switch is nice, and obviously Crabhammer, which we talked about earlier. And what else was I gonna say? Fuck, the whiskey's starting to hit me, boys. Sorry.
Wide Guard. It also gets Wide Guard.
Yes, that was it. You read my
that.
mind. We talked about
That
this.
is the
We did talk
ultimate
about
rock
it.
slide counter right there. Wide guard and slap him with the crab.
Easy.
Yep.
I
You earned
like the
yourself
team.
an S, my friend.
This team's sick. Yeah, it's very good.
Now you just got to build.
Easy detail.
Yeah. Now,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, definitely in D tier, but it's a good team.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Minor improvement over season 1.
No, I like this team a lot. I think it's definitely up there with the other two top teams that we've looked at.
Onward.
Good, nice. All right, next up we have captain of the entire server. We have Samax.
Woo!
Oh God. All right. So yeah, I've been chatting with Samax off and on about this team. So this is also an S tier team. Holy. Whew. Okay.
I think
so
this is Samax's best draft.
yes, I would agree. I mean, maybe his season 4 was excellent as well. But
Yeah,
like-
I agree. His season 4 was excellent, but I think this is a better team in context.
yeah,
Like in the context of what the board looked like, and just taking into account what you actually have to care about and what you don't have to care about, and what you should prioritize, and what is going to be in high demand. I think this team is super solid. It's really strong.
like, let's
it's
look
got
at
a
these
ton of
first 9
bonds.
slots. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah,
Honestly, and I think you can include Merrill in there too, with what he has
Almost.
on this team.
Kinda, sorta,
almost. Yeah, almost. Once in a while, maybe.
yeah. Every Pokemon on this team, except for Corvisquire and Meryl, I seriously considered at some point during the week that we were drafting, like, maybe I'll take this, maybe I'll take that. Basically, except for Sylveon, because it had already been picked in round 1 by the time it got to me. But in general, every mon on this squad is solid and also cool. None of the ones that are good but you don't like to use because they're a lame Pokemon or whatever. Like it's also all just cool Pokemon.
Top tier Instruct Abuse with Marowak, Earthquakes, Sylveon, Hyper Voices.
Weavile triple axles.
Of course, sure. Anything. Pass enemy in close combats. Just throw out moves and double them, and then nothing's left to hit you.
This team is a masterclass in Oranguru usage. Not much is going to stand up to 2 Hyper Voices a turn.
So I have
or
a
2 Earthquakes.
I have a couple of concerns. So I think Weavile is carrying a little bit too much weight on the support side. As someone who's drafted Weavile twice, like if you just use it as fake out Icy Wind, like there are 10 different mons that could do that. And I wish that there were other mons that could support Weavile rather than the other way around. Like there's not any fast mons with the exception of Weavile, and like Kling Klang is like only has like 3.5 moves. So like. Like I guess you do like Scarf Rotom. That's a thing. You can scarf several of these mons, but like I think some of the times this team's gonna be on the back foot on turn 1, especially any lead that can both like scarf and like deal with the Oranguru Trick Room option. I think this team's gonna maybe struggle against. Like there's just not quite as much support. Like there's something to be said for just like 9 strong attackers, and like this team I think will win the majority of its games just on the strength of like 9 strong attackers, but there's just a little bit less support than I would have liked.
Fair enough. I can't believe Passimian gets Electro Web.
Yeah,
So weird.
Yeah, I was shocked by that too.
Mhm.
Why does it get Electro Web? I thought Gen 8 fixed all those nonsense moves of Pokemon that get moves that they shouldn't. They
That
obviously
feels like a
shouldn't.
typo. Somebody fucked up a database.
Yeah, no real tailwind setter on this team. Hurts a little bit because he does have a lot of those like middling speeds, right? So yeah, I think fake out Icy Wind is going to be coming almost every week on Weavile if he wants to go fast.
Yeah, I did talk to Sam a bit about Corvisquire. That thing's actually not too bad if you fully bulk it out with and it's his only really. I mean, you're not going to use a Violet Meryl unless you've already made playoffs. But I think Corvisquire can still show up and get off a tailwind if it really needs to. But like you said, I think there's better options. But I definitely wouldn't ignore Corvisquire in prep. Meryl, TBD.
with good usage of Rotom Fan, because it does have like Will-O-Wisp and Eerie Impulse, then this team will be supported enough, and it has immense power and like versatile power. Like you never know who's going to be trying to sweep you, whether it's like Dredigan or Kabutops on any given week. But a lot of power. Just Samax is going to need to build great as he has in the past to support these mons well.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out before we move on is the type chart actually looks pretty good if you account for the fact that Marowak covers 3 of the weaknesses, and those 3 electric weaknesses are the last
coming.
3
Don't
mons.
even matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think the type chart was very intelligently built, and having a fairy weakness isn't necessarily a huge deal when you have
Especially when you have the best fairy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You have the only fairy, right? Other than Slurpuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Spritzy, sorry. Yeah, Slurpuff sucks. Spritzy's better.
So yeah, I think this team, Samax is a smart player. I think he can definitely make this work by pivoting around, playing intelligently. You can, make use of this really nice type chart, and then just click very strong buttons.
S tier team for me, second to Goose on my list.
I feel like it doesn't quite hit hard enough, other than like Sylveon.
I have it in S2. Sam is a really slow, methodical player, and I think this team suits that really well.
Yeah, it's my top team.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I like the other 3 better personally. I put it in A, but that's just me.
Now I also don't. I don't have 4 teams in S, to be clear. I have 2 teams in S tier, and I have BBRAFF and Sora in A tier.
This could definitely be it. I don't know. This team's hard for me because the other 3 are so good. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how to
Slap it around there and keep going.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll revise it. All right, next up, this is the 8th team in the Grapplock division. This is Dustin, the New York City Nidokings.
Can we see his logo?
We
Just
can
get
see
his comment on it.
the logo that I picked.
It's magnificent.
There is a real logo coming, but it will not make it onto these tier lists.
Eventually, right, Dustin?
I'm not going back and re-editing the tier maker.
Goose, would you please put a rain dance somewhere on this, just so we can see how we?
Yeah, everybody on this team has Sunny Day, so let me just take that
I
off.
think is it the B? Does Rabambi get
Everybody-
rain
Oh,
dance?
everybody also has Rain Days.
Everybody has
Except for
Rain Dance and Sunny
Rabambi.
Day.
Oh my god,
I wish Rabambi had it.
that's depressing.
Yeah, this is the
fastest-
rain team that stole all the rain mods.
You know what we could? You know what you could do? Disguise Zoroark as Rabambi and use rain dance, and there we go.
Oh, it's calculated.
Yeah,
Look, there are worse things than self-setting rain dance as Ludicolo or Kingdra.
but there are better things too. So why didn't he take one?
Well, there was only one Politoed. Like, I
True.
think Ludicolo is a good enough mon that like you would warrant putting a random rain dance on a random mon just to get it going. It is like a double speed and 50% attack boost, so like it is worth it.
Yeah, I mean, and Zoroark being the fastest rain dancer on this team, like it is 105 base speed. Like it's still like that's not nothing.
You
like,
can hide it as a
you don't-
Doublade or something, and then
you
like,
don't
it's gonna
feel
move
stupid
last.
for
That's
putting.
actually a really
for
good
putting
idea.
rain
Hide it in
dance
some
on
slow shit.
Please don't do that against me.
Cut that out. Let's
Yeah,
keep this,
take that out, please.
You take it out.
I'm not gonna take it. I'm leaving it in, but I will prep for it.
In the true tradition of old farts drinking tier list, no editing happens.
Yeah, of
Of course not.
no matter what.
Okay, so I'm going to start to poke holes, rock weakness, but also, like, your speed control coming from Xatu. Does Xatu have, like, real survivability? No, it doesn't really.
It has focus sash.
Yeah, our offensive stats, if we remove Zoroark, are kind of not there. I mean, rain-boosted water moves are good, but that's kind of conditional. Any mon with a good water matchup can do pretty well into this team. Like, how are we beating... I don't know, a Raikou or a Thundurus or all the electric types. I guess we have Lightning Rod, so I will stand corrected on that. But I'm a little like missing some of the oomph when Doublade is your strongest attacker and Zoroark is kind of your only big special attacker. I guess you just need rain boosted water moves. You need to hope that that's enough.
Yeah, this team feels a little unreliable to me, I would say.
I think the Delibird got. Oh no, that's in the other league. That's in the other conference. Never mind. I was gonna say Delibird got dropped, but that was in the...
Questioning my prep. Excuse me.
Dunsparce
Well-
might be good value.
I think Dunsparce is good value. I think Golbat is great value.
Yeah, it's got Serene Grace Headbutts. It's got Thunder
Glare.
Waves.
Glare.
Yeah, there you go. Glare, just better
90s
Thunder
Glare.
Wave.
Yeah, that's all.
I guess
It's
my
got Charge... what is it? Charge Beam, the 70% to raise your special attack move.
Yep. Yeah,
So with Serene Grace is a guarantee. It's like base. It's like 70 base damage electric type. So like electric type whatever, but it's boosting your special attack, and it's twice as strong as Power Up Punch. So maybe there's something there.
Yeah, I'd say there's hella fake out on this team. There's 3 fake out mons, which is more than I think most people have. Like 1, maybe 2 if they're lucky.
Oh man, can you spare a fake out in this trying time?
Seriously.
Man,
We put a Hitmontop appreciation thread in the comments, please. It is very, very good, and will certainly help here. Rabombi is a really good, it's just one of those mons I have a really strong appreciation for. Like, good speed and lots of moves is I think, the recipe for success.
and can't be faked out.
Yeah, Shield Dust is one heck of an ability.
We had to discover that Shield Dust did that in when we were prepping for High Rollers. And we were like, wait a minute, we can't fake it out? Oh no!
Yeah,
I ended up using Scarf, Mamoswine, Rock Tomb.
That's true.
And
And
then
he
you didn't bring Rabombi anyway.
Yeah.
And then you
Type
threw my
chart-
Thunderous over and over, grumble. So this is a team that I feel like there's still a couple of just strong hitters out there on the draft board, and there's still room to make this a great team. Right now, I think it's a good team that it has the support with the triple fake out and all of that and the Rabombi stuff that it can win with a sweeper that I feel like is missing. So we get the sweeper and this becomes a great team. But we should put this somewhere in the middle. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think this is like an average team in terms of the power level for the rest of the conference. I would put it in B tier personally.
What heavy hitters we got available? We got Alakazam.
Ooh.
Gallade at 10 points is available, and
Alakazam needs to get off of that board because there's not a lot of special attackers. Somebody needs to take that.
Seriously, this team should draft Alakazam.
Yeah.
Speed swap too. Why not?
yeah.
Yeah, they need to have Rabombi and Alakazam with speed swaps.
I guess
just-
you already do have Rabombi, but
Find
It's still good. I don't know.
find 11 points that you're willing to trade for an Alakazam and get an Alakazam. I'm gonna put this in B tier above the Frillishes.
Yeah, I have this as my only B tier team.
I have Ballhawk in B also.
I Ballhawk at the bottom of A.
I'll do
All right.
something about S's at some point.
Let's go.
All right, next up, we are
Toxicity Division.
officially
Let's do it.
correct. We're officially halfway through, and it's been about 50 minutes, so we are on pace for...
All right.
Oh,
Jordan's
that's
only
not where I should
had to
be.
yell at us
Jordan.
like 2 or 3 times.
Hey, Dunsparce survived though.
we're doing okay.
Beautiful. All right, this is Sly's
Hey,
team.
Sly's team.
E tier.
That'll swallow.
So I really like the top 4, and I think because you know how Sly drafts, he's spend all his points as quickly as possible. But I think he did pretty good with the lower picks. Like Fungus and Purloin are pretty good for baby mons, and so is Munchlax. Why was Munchlax only 3 points? I thought we fixed that.
Good
And
question.
then we
I think
unfixed that this season.
It
I don't
got
know.
unfixed somehow. Yeah.
he went a lot wider than I thought he was going to be honest with
So
you.
it came up earlier. Why does anybody draft Liepard over Purloin?
Because you can run a non Eviolite some of the time. Like you can actually like
Or
run
focus,
88 special attack, Dark Pulse, and knockoff. Like there is reason. Like when we made the gap
guess.
only 4 points, it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Like with other draft leagues that don't have as good a tier list as ours, when the difference is like 5 points versus 14 points, then yeah, you should never.
Agree.
draft
Yeah,
Liepard.
right. If the point differential is that huge, then no chance. But 4 points, I guess, is understandable. I personally wouldn't do it, but I can see why. That speed kind of does matter. It can get you an extra hit, right? It can get you an extra foul play or something.
An extra
too.
snarl too. Yeah.
An extra snarl, right?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But I mean,
But I'm with you,
Purloin,
James. I agree.
like Sly's getting his value out of Purloin here. That's for sure.
Yep.
One of the 3 redirectors.
Yes.
Mhm. And
Skill
Spore.
Fairy, Mawile. Mawile's never looked better than on this draft board.
He still
Seriously.
doesn't look great. I don't know. I don't think Mawile looks that great, to be
And when
honest.
85 is above average attack,
Yeah.
that's a real mon.
Not very good, in my opinion, at the place he got it. So we're doing some good redirection abuse. We have a Xurkitree and Mamoswine, some big hitters. But like we don't have a trick room mode, and I would love like a redirection trick room. Like Solrock is not really it. I guess what we do have is like a very good trick room deterrent who can run trick room against the threat of being put to sleep by fungus. So what we have is, I guess, a trick room answer, but this is a team that just really wants to go fast otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, fast, like, Disquake is going to be really nice with Priority Tailwind, right?
This is
Circuitry with the 170 whatever special attack. It doesn't make sense.
I think this is the only priority tailwind. Well, this line, at least, in the format, correct?
And the other ones are not good, so
Yeah.
this is definitely the one to get.
Yeah, Talonflight's a dope mon. Even if it didn't have Gale Wings, it'd be good.
The attack stat's pretty good too, right?
No.
No, it's not that great. Yeah, never mind.
I mean, if you use Brave Bird or Flare Blitz, then it becomes okay.
Yeah.
But I think Sock's going to be one of the biggest hitters on this team.
Yeah, 125 is super high in this format.
Yeah, like
Built-in
when I think
sturdy.
of
Yeah,
slide
and sturdy.
teams, I think of slide teams as like 4 unbelievably powerful Pokemon, and then like 1 or 2 that are kind of usable. But this time, I feel like he has like 9 that he can kind of reliably bring.
I mean, I think any can be brought. Like, I don't think Solrock's going to see much use.
Right.
But and Omastar maybe. Like, this is not necessarily the Omastar team by any means, but I think this is probably the broadest team I've seen slide draft in VBL.
Here.
That Natdex Charizard Y team is actually like pretty awesome. But I think you got to take advantage of some poor tiering on that particular board.
I will say well done and recommend we put it somewhere.
Yep.
Somewhere in the top
Yeah.
half, maybe.
I like it. I put it in A tier.
Putting it right under Ballhawks, personally.
Yep, I agree.
Yep.
Although my A tier looks different from the one that keeps showing up on screen, but I do agree that it's in A tier and below Ballhawk.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's one of the best teams, but I think it's a very strong team. And Sly is really good. So
Sly is a prep monster. Let me tell you.
sure. We have so many prep monsters.
Like, so
Sly
modest,
wins
too, you know?
games. Sly
Yeah,
wins
he's so
games
modest.
before they before even team preview, or yeah, Sly can prep.
What I'm wondering more than anything this season is Sly gonna say good luck and have fun to any
Definitely
of his
not.
opponents?
Definitely not.
Can't do that. It's against the code.
Can't give him any extra luck. Come on.
I've never even seen this team, but it's got Hail. Okay. And we have a Glaceon. I did not even know this team existed. Heaven, welcome to the VBLS.
Welcome indeed.
Huh.
What a hail team.
All right, someone else introduce this team because I have no idea what to think.
Can I just talk about Glaceon for 2 seconds? I think that mon is extremely underrated. I think it catches a lot of people off guard. It hits so hard, especially if you have 100% accurate blizzards. If you can find a way to get some speed control going, whether you go fast or slow, because 60 speed is so good. I've talked about this in my video. You guys should go watch it again. I don't know.
Speed is the bane of my existence.
It's usable because every speed is usable, but it's not good.
Come on. I think Glaceon is a lot stronger than people give it credit for in draft, because you're not going to bring it every week, and it's always a pretty low point value. What was it, 6 points this season, something like that?
It was
I
six,
think it's pretty good for 6 points personally.
Yeah, 6 points.
That's my intro to the team. I just wanted to talk about Glaceon specifically.
Who cares about speed when you have Snowcloak, whatever the powder thing is?
Yeah, so crazy
Bright
fire
power.
weakness, right? 3 ice types, one of them is 4 times weak, and your Sceptile. But fire types have never been rarer, right? I mean, we keep saying like, oh, Season of the Dragon, but it's kind of Season of the Fire Weeks also, right?
Ice types in general pretty good here. No steals
Yeah.
This is
either.
gonna this is going to be a scary team to face if you got like a humongous net ice weakness, like a couple teams I've seen.
Yeah, like mine.
And mine, and every team.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are ice weak. This team does have a big rock weakness though, which is huge.
Yeah, with only 2 resistances. Nidoking, Marshtomp, yeah.
Yeah, I actually like Marshtomp. I think it's pretty cool that that little thing gets wide guard, and it's super bulky with a Violite. The grass weakness is shared by like not much else on this team.
Yeah.
And it has like a good enough support move pool, right? You can get the burn with Skull. You can mud shot to slow him down. I for 2 points, I was one of the best 2-pointers around.
Yeah, I would agree.
Oh. Also got a lot of just like incidental other weather abusers too, right? 2 swift swimmers.
Yeah.
Sandrush Stoutland, probably not going to get a lot of use on this team, but just because there's like not generally great ways to set up manual sand.
Yeah.
Like,
There's also tons of things that can just proc a Sceptile weakness policy, and I mean, Sceptile's always sucked in a regular format, but
yeah,
when everything's weak, 105 looks pretty spicy.
Yeah, does Glaceon get Ice Shard?
I would.
I
At
believe
least
Ninetales
Ninetales
It
does.
does.
Oh yeah, Ninetales definitely does.
This team is like pretty decently bulky too, and the Stoutland Intimidate helps that out.
I think this is the highest special defense outside of Tyler's team that we've seen.
Yeah, it's
Which
very
is-
high. Plus,
yeah.
Marshtomp, Eviolite. I think Armaldo sucks. I remember
Yeah,
Jordan
Unfortunately
used-
true.
Almost
It's
sucks.
unfortunately
Yeah,
true.
I watched you use it that one season.
I
And
mean,
was
it's
just
gonna get
so
better. It's
bad.
gonna get better in this format.
For sure.
Like I've seen it Swords Dance and sweep a draft game. That was my impetus for getting it, and then it never did anything for me. But like, I think this team has really good support, and I almost wish there was another just like random hitter, like a Dredigan or like a Haxorus or something. Because like I think the support's really there, with the exception of Fake Out, which like please get Fake Out. But we got a ton of Helping Hand. We got double Wide Guard, double Haze. Like we got lots of Icy Wind and Tailwind and Trick Room of like good Mons that have Tailwind and Trick Room. So like I see a lot of support, and I think if we can get like some good setup moves, or if we can like use our Choice Bands or Life Orbs effectively, then this is a really good team.
Yeah, so
One last
few
thing.
like weather setters and weather counters too, thanks to BBRAFF last season. I think Ninetales is actually a really strong pick too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ninetales. It's such a good support option as well, with Icy Wind and Aurora Veil in the same set, easy peasy.
Yeah.
One other thing that I don't think any of us have mentioned is Reuniclus is like the best Trick Room on the board. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, I would agree.
We don't really like. We have to have Reuniclus set its own Trick Room, because there's not a lot else really benefiting from it. Like situationally, Glaceon or Armaldo will be benefiting, but it's the Reuniclus show. If we could do a Fake Out Trick Room, then Reuniclus could sweep. I hope we can find like a low tier slow Fake Outer. Yeah,
Some of the
Reuniclus
costs like 5 points maybe. Just
So
just
I
a
just
random
did
number.
I just did a quick look of Fake Out Mons that anybody would care about, and you've got Togedemaru at 13 points. You've got Toxicroak at 10, and then the 2-point and bag mon, like the 2-point Fake Out.
Toxicroak's good, but like I also don't
Yeah.
think this team needs to invest a lot into Fake Out. It just needs the option, right? There's several 2-point Fake Out mons that I was considering, and I'm guessing in this draft they're available as well.
And got one of Croagunk, all the Meowths. Who else did I see? Lombre. Meat
Think
Food
Yep
didn't
was
get
down there.
taken. Yeah,
Are
there
they
you go.
worth-
That's the one you want.
Are they worth bringing ever though? Like
Yes.
just to
Yes, they
are.
out
I think
and,
Meat
like,
I would say Meow.
Glad I could help. Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
As long as you can find 3 other support moves, like a foul play can make up for a lack of offense if you're a baby mon.
Mhm.
Like you
Mean
can
gets
make it work.
Wide guard, right?
No, but it gets quick
Quick
guard
guard?
and it gets close combat, HJK, knock. I think it gets knockoff. Yeah,
It does.
Mienfoo's,
Quick guard is that move that doesn't
blockers.
work, right?
yeah, it's the awful.
It works if you're
no
faster.
vision. Yeah, the first time I ever used it was against you, James, and I thought it worked, and then I used it the next week and it didn't. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because Mean Foo was faster than Grookey.
For 1 week, I thought I found the ultimate tech that nobody else had ever considered.
Yeah, I like this.
Alright,
Team.
let's put this team on the tier list.
This is gonna be my second B team. What? Wait, what? What team is this again? What's the logo? I feel really stupid.
Wait.
Oh, it's Frillish, right? French Frillish?
Yeah, it's the French Frillishes.
Okay. Apologies.
Frillish with an F, as opposed to
Apologies
ahead
to
of
the new
Nidokings?
coaches.
Nice.
Yeah, I think B tier above the New York City Nidokings as well.
Apologies to new coaches. I don't know your logos or your usernames. Also, apologies to AC and Ben because I fucked up your names in my my video today.
Yeah, they're both British. They'll get over it.
They don't know yet. They haven't woken up.
They're only 5 hours ahead of us, not 12.
When you live on the East Coast, maybe.
Oh, good point. Yeah,
Mountains in the
you're
desert over
UTC -7, so you're
Poppin lives in Death Valley.
you're 8 hours, 8 hours behind him. All right,
This team's
who's next?
fucking
So you guys
awesome.
want to talk about a wide team?
Yeah, tell me how to beat this team, guys.
Okay, so
I don't know.
So, in 3 seasons of drafting, Sucaba has gone from us trying to find nice things to say about his first attempt at drafting
Mm-hmm.
to worrying he's going to start running the league. Like, this team is miles away, like, a crazy improvement, even over last season, which was a huge improvement over his first draft. I like this team quite a bit. Double Dragons, good Steel type, great Fairy type. Meowstic is awesome. Cheap Tailwind. Machamp actually was appropriately priced, but I like. Regice is gonna be annoying. Cloyster is gonna die. I don't think Cloyster's good.
There's not a lot of special attackers on
But
some of these teams, so maybe I don't know. It has a super high defense stat, and he has fake out. He might just get a shell smash off on somebody.
Would you
I
mind
kinda
throwing
like this.
Ally Switch on there? I'm seeing a little bit of lack of support. I'm wondering if Sucaba is going to use Ally Switch to fix that.
2.
Okay, that's not great. So yeah,
McDonald's gets
Meowstic's
it?
going to cover a fair amount of weight for this team as the only fake out, and as a fake out mon that doesn't really want fake out because it's got a million other support moves. Like, it's a really, really amazing mon and a good first pick. But like, how else are we getting this Cloyster shell smash off?
Yeah, Cloyster's
Crickets.
probably the weak
something
link.
else next to it that has to be dealt with first.
Again,
That's
Bill.
probably the right answer there.
Right.
But what is that? I mean, that's going to be team dependent, right? Because like some weeks it's going to be who sets Trick Room on this team? Just Meowstic also?
Mimikyu,
Yeah.
though.
Mimikyu, of course,
better.
of course.
Very
Yeah,
And
yeah,
a
of
very
course.
good trick room mode.
And
I gotta
a good Trick Room setter. I apologize to Mimikyu.
Probably the second best fairy.
Yeah, I think it's Sylveon,
Maybe
Mimikyu.
third. No, Alchemy's really good too. It's in the
No.
top 3.
Alchemy.
No,
Yeah, I
it's-
think
sorry,
those
it's
are the
4.
top 3.
Baby Slurpuff. I forgot.
No.
It's 4th best. Right, Poppin?
That's right, man.
First of all, it's Baby Aromatisse, not Baby Slurpuff.
Oh. I don't even
And
know.
second, that's just a funny joke Poppin's saying. It's not really that great.
I
It's
be-
fine, but
I
I think he
believe
meant
it.
it. I think he believed it.
I
do
don't think
believe
it's
it.
top 5. I'll give you like.
I didn't say top
close
5.
to the
I said
five.
top 3.
He did say top 3.
Oh god.
Okay,
And
well,
he does believe it.
I don't think it's top 5. So
Well, we'll meet in finals then, and I'll show you.
Bro.
see you in grands then. All right.
He
sounds
made a
good.
couple. Okay, Sucaba made a couple trades during the draft, which is wild. I like to see somebody make 2 trades and to make his team so much better with them. Well, he traded Charizard and also Naganadel. Right?
And Naganadel, right? Yeah.
Correct. For 2, I think, slower mons to get 2 faster mons, I think.
To
I don't remember what he traded for Nagano.
He got rid of Marowak, I believe. Marowak.
Yeah.
Alola.
Oh, and I think it was Kingdra.
that's a-
I think it was Kingdra was the other one.
Huge upgrades then. Those
Oh,
Nagano and Charizard are fucking scary, dude.
Yeah. And he has Prankster Sunny Day for the
Yeah.
Charizard, which is really nice.
Right.
This thing is gonna be a menace.
Machamp has
love all
Wide
the
Guard.
speed. We've all been in the circumstance where we're like, well, he's got a 110 and I've got a 115, so I guess I got to run max speed. But like, you got 5 mons that might be the fastest mon on the field, so one of them doesn't need speed, right? Because the other one can gift your speed. So like, he's got multiple threats here, and it's really good to not just have like one fast mon that needs to carry the whole team, but you got 5 fast mons. That's really, really good, and a reasonable tailwind.
I think Regice is really good value too. I think that was like probably 6 points too, something like that. Yep. And the stats are really good. And yeah, Ice type gets that rock weakness, but the fire weakness doesn't really hurt that bad with like 2 strong fire type attackers left in the league. So
yeah, there's few fire type in the conference as a whole, and in the division there's Charizard. Well, that's on his team, so not that. Not on Steve's team.
I believe I counted 8 fire
Durant
types.
is in particular weak to every special move in the game.
True, right.
Yeah, it's not a steel type because it dies to a scald, so...
Stab steel attacks is going to be kind of nice, though. Its attack stat's not bad,
Yeah.
It's actually really strong.
I mean, it will be strong when it doesn't die to a scald.
Yeah.
Well,
So
for
Cephalon,
the same reason. Just a fast Iron Head will do you wonders sometimes.
In
Cephalon, Talonflame, and the Charizard are the only 3 fire types in the entire division. And one of them's on this team. So, like, Durant has no weaknesses. And
There's a random flamethrower. Slowbro is going to one-shot a Durant.
That's true. There is fire coverage, for sure. But
and like Jordan said earlier, it doesn't really matter. Durant's going to die to stuff that it's not even weak to, right? If it's a special attack.
yeah.
True.
This team is going to require inventive team building. Like, I think you can probably make it to playoffs just by, like, fast attacker spam plus Meowstic and the occasional, like, solid trickery mode. But like, it's still gonna need some inventive builds. I think some of these mons like have big weak points, so it's just yet another test for a rising star in the league.
Yeah.
Does Mimikyu or Meowstic get imprisoned?
Meowstic gets every move.
Okay, it does. Okay, because this team likes to go fast. I think this team really likes to go fast, right? He doesn't have a lot of slow mods, so he's gonna want to probably try to imprison Trick Room when he goes up against a really slow team, I would assume.
Yeah. I also think double beast boost on this team is something that could be really scary. So,
yeah.
Like, if you can't deal with either of them,
Meowstic
they're just going to steamroll you.
In terms of imprison.
Let's throw it on the board, huh?
Yeah, let's put it on the board. It's a good team. I like it better than the French Frillishes. Do I like it more than Sly's team? Just get another quick peek.
I say this is a high A tier.
I think it's
I like it better than Sly's team. Do I like it better than Ballhawk? Gale Wings.
Putting it high A or low S. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, this is another one. Like Sam's team, it's kind of tough for me. I'm torn between A and S.
Yeah, I think it's going for me. It's going middle of A, in between Sora and Ballhawk. I might do a bit of shifting at the end to kind of make my distribution a little more.
We still think BBRAFF is the top team. Do you guys still think BBRAFF is the best team?
He's in third for me, but
he's in third for me as well, but at the top of A tier.
We're in the home stretch, almost.
We are. Yep, 5 more.
So true. And next up, we got our boy Steve.
The Shedinja team.
Someone help me out.
That's not right.
What a team.
This team's nuts.
Look, do we think Steve's going to make the playoffs? Yes, but that's not
Probably.
the question.
No, you're right. You're right. It's okay. So the team is so wild, right? Like, how do you prep for this team every week?
I have
Well,
no
you think
idea.
about he has that Shedinja, right? And so you're concerned about that. But then he has it covered so many different ways. He doesn't even have to bring it, right? So you bring those coverage moves, but then he has so many other resistances for what Shedinja is hurt by. He has the second or third strongest fairy in the format, which is huge.
Here's the thing. I think Steve is running an extended PsyOps campaign by posting his video and calling it "Here's how you draft a Shedinja team," and like laying out an admittedly very good, well thought out plan of here's how to draft a Shedinja team. But what he really did was just draft a frustrating team and put it in all his opponent's head that Shedinja is the most important part of it, and he doesn't have to bring it a single week. And he's going to win games with it just nowhere.
It's kind of a Regigigas team.
Right?
And a Raikou team.
it's a Raikou
Would you mind
team.
removing Regigigas just to see where the stats are without this thing?
Sure.
Just curious.
That's exactly what I thought when I watched Steve's video, and he was like, the BST is so high. Well, if you take
okay,
Gigas
so
out,
I'll say like the stats didn't drop to 0 immediately, so like there are other good mons on this team, but like it is kind of slow without.
Take out Shedinja too. Just curious.
That's fair.
That makes it look worse.
yeah, they
I
kind of
wanna see those
offset each
numbers.
other, right? Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay.
Some big numbers.
Dude, look at these special attackers he has in a league
Got all
full
of
of teams that don't have special attackers. It's huge.
Yeah, and a mon that can boost special attack.
Yeah, Alchemy's nuts.
Oh God.
So
I
you'll
wish I
see
got
it
that
on the Daddy conference that I kind of drafted a team that like kind of depends on Alchemy for boosts. This is a team that doesn't, and so like this is a team that's got plenty of power without Alchemy, and so I wonder like with Alchemy you really want defense, so you can live to actually decorate yourself. This team also has that, doesn't it? Like let's look at defensive tools like Raikou's got Snarl and Eerie Impulse and screens. We got some burns, right? Like Will-O-Wisp is on at least Wheezing.
Yeah, I can. Let me get rid of Reflect.
Yeah, Weezing and Shedinja are the two Will-O-Wisp users.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, just look at the discharge abuse on this team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's gonna go wild with that.
Let's see what else. Yeah.
He's got Drampa, which is the Rainbow Mon, right?
It's a good mod, but there are many good rainbow mods. Behemoth, I think, is huge for like the whatever 4 points he got it. A lot of power and coverage as well.
And more discharge fodder, right? He can just throw it out there. It's not going to get hit.
Yeah.
Like that alone is going to shut down a lot of teams. And then he has Wheezing Gigas, which you have to prep for every week. You can't ignore that ever, right?
So I think the triple fairy is frankly like excessive.
It is. Well, Carbink is one of them, right? So
yeah. Like what you should do is you should monopolize the fairies and then get dragons, and then he didn't do that. I guess he got Drampa, but like he could have had multiple fairy weaknesses and then say like, well, what fairies?
Yeah, I have all the best fairies. I have Alchemy, Wheezing Galar, and Carbink. But yeah, I like that plan actually. Draft all the fairies, then draft all the dragons.
he also has a lot of versatility in speed and in terms of like attackers and special attackers, right? So it's, I don't know, I feel like it's a pretty tough team to prep for. He's got a ton of options. You can't really like look at any one of these mons and be like, okay, this is not coming against me, right?
Yeah.
It's just fundamentally strong. I don't see a single like starting place to pick this team apart.
I think it's a little slow to get going. Like not only Regigigas, obviously, but like, like Raikou doesn't have Electro Web. Like there's not a fast speed controller. There's not a Tailwind. I think you want to get going quickly, target all the things that aren't Regigigas, frankly, and then try to beat Regigigas later. Or like,
but like think back to like my BDSP team where I had PZ and Electivire, and I would Scarf, Discharge, Electivire would kill a bunch of shit. I mean, he can do the same thing with this team, but he doesn't have to. He has a lot of other options too. So it's tough to prep for, I feel like.
Oh, it certainly will be tough to prep for. I think there were some opportunities to make this a more well-rounded team that Steve didn't go for, but that's fine. Like we're obviously all enthralled with what he'll be doing with this team, but I'll put it somewhere in A for me.
For me, this is my favorite team in the league now. I think I like it a little more than Sora's, personally, but
I feel like we're all being trolled by Steve.
I've heard an A and an S.
I think it should be bottom of A or top of B myself. Like my opinions are different. Like I don't really get it. Like, yeah, like there's, have a plan for Gigas, have a plan for Shedinja, have a plan for Alchemy. Wash your hands.
I think that's a reasonable take.
Have a plan for
Right?
Electivire. I don't know. I feel like there's so many options on this team, and I don't know.
I don't think you need a plan for Raikou and Electivire and Drampa. You just need good Pokemon for that, right? You just need to, like, you need a plan for Gigas Weezing, and you need a plan for Shedinja.
Okay.
You just need to have Pokemon with a coherent strategy to handle generally good Pokemon, right? I feel like
a
we're
lot
being
of tech,
trolled.
a little bit less like well-roundedness, but
Yeah,
a very good team.
I'm putting Steve at the top of B tier, and Steve can disagree with me, and you all can disagree with me.
We don't have to like sit on this all day, but do you really think it's not well-rounded? Like his base stats are really strong, right?
Yeah,
well, I guess it depends how we define it, but like in terms of like mons that I can bring every week and not and like how do I form a coherent game plan against like a team that has a lot of different threats? I think this team's gonna like struggle for answers some of the time. Like against like some of the offensive teams, like the Talonflame circuitry teams. Like yes, I mean I guess circuitry in particular we have answers for, but like how do we beat a Haxorus? God damn it. Okay, fair enough that we have fairies. But there are some hyper offensive teams that this team is going to struggle against, but it is a good team. That I will say.
Sounds like it's going an A.
You guys put it in A. I'm putting it right at the top, baby. Right at the top of D tier.
No problem.
I think it's probably somewhere in the middle of A for me. I'll put it right here for now. I think it'll be tough to deal with. All right.
God, these teams are so good.
Yeah, there hasn't been a single team
they're all good.
that I'm gonna sleep on. They're all scary. We have Pokemon and beer.
Welcome to
My Queen City rivals.
You've been a delightful presence so far, and you have the best cat in the league.
S tier team name also, or not team name, just Discord name.
Username. Yeah.
Oh, username, yeah. All right, so
Hit us.
me and we joked about it a little bit, but I want to do a Queen City exhibition, Cincinnati v Cincinnati.
Hell yeah.
The other one has to move across the river to Kentucky.
Okay.
I can't wait to see this video.
You don't have to change your branding because like Jersey teams say they're from New York and stuff like that. That's fine, but you do have to move the loser does have to move the franchise.
I would like to commentate this exhibition, please.
Sure, no problem. All right, now let's talk about the team. I like it. Double Dragons, Persian Alola is great. I love Persian Alola. Cinderace is, Cinderace is Libero, and Libero is broken. Morgrem, I think, is a nice pickup. Zorua is gonna annoy somebody. If you can, find a good way to proc your Unburden, then you've got a very fast Tailwind with Driftblim. There's just not a lot of good ways to proc Unburden on this draft board and on this team. No ways to do it on Switchin' that I see. I don't know, like maybe you White Herb and against an Intimidate team or something like that one week for your Unburden. I don't know, that seems a little silly to me, actually, now that I say it, but I think this team has got some cool stuff, but I think it's kind of average.
What is Storm Drain really helping, right?
I was looking at that. That made me. That was kind of depressing.
Good point.
I don't think anybody picked up Rhyperior on the board. I think that thing's just still sitting there.
It is still sitting there.
With Credilli in no other grass weeks on the team, I think that's an easy pickup.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I don't know what you drop, but I think that's a sweet improvement.
It's 11 points. So
Agree. I think you have such great supports in Persian and Morgrim that you can kind of just drop all of the runts and then just like use the 2 supports plus quality Pokemon, quality attackers. So you could drop like the last 4 slots. I don't think actually you need Drifblim necessarily when you have Persian and Morgrim. So you could drop multiple Pokemon and get Rhyperior with some Bagmons.
Yeah, and Rhyperior would help against opposing Trick Room a lot too, because this team does not really like Trick Room, and it doesn't have Trick Room Imprison or anything like that either to stop it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'll defend it. Yeah, I was definitely thinking along those grounds. You guys know I think Trick Room should be on every team just in case. But we do have Fast Taunt. We Prankster Taunt. We have Fast Fake Out to kind of win those Fake Out wars when they're trying to set Trick Room. So we do have some tools to beat Trick Room. And so I think Cradillia should stay, and we should just find more Cradillia abusers.
Right. I think the Rhyperior edition as well. The one other thing on this team is just you have Haxorus and maybe Cinderace for the immediate physical pressure, but otherwise you can definitely take your time against this team. There's nothing that forces you to play in any particular way, I don't think. So I guess the general sentiment, I'd say, pick up Rhyperior, find one other big threat.
You know, Rhyperior is not really going to help with the special bulk on this team either, though.
Yeah,
right?
Special is a different story.
This team likes to go fast and it likes to hit hard, but if you can slow it down and hit him on the special side, I mean, he's got Snarl on Persian, right? And is that it?
Well, I guess we can look for Light Screen. But I think you nailed it, Daddy. That the special weakness is kind of the biggest one.
And the glaring here.
We have Intimidate and Fur Coat, and better physical defense in general.
Yeah, this team is
I think we have Eerie Impulse on regular Rotom, right? He has got Eerie Impulse.
Yeah, he does.
That's good. Okay, so we're gonna have to use our tech, our Morgrim Light Screens and our Eerie Impulse to deal with special attackers.
Yeah,
Morgrim about Morgrim for a second, and I have that Pokemon too, so I really shouldn't have. But yeah, he does have screens too. Right.
I had Morgrim some season, what feels like forever ago, but that thing pulls its weight. It is such a good mon. It was definitely worth 8 or even more points, I think.
Yeah, way better design than Grimmsnarl too.
It is a cool design.
Yeah, I mean Grimmsnarl's fine, but Morgrim is like just a little
emo guy.
Just a little stinker, right? Yeah. Morgrim rules.
Grimmsnarl rules. I have this as a high C team.
Yeah, I think this team's definitely got some stuff to work with. And definitely
some rough edges, but some good
more or less than the Philadelphia Frillish. Let me take a look at. That's the Rain team.
I think it's a little better than that team personally. I think it's in the bottom half, which isn't saying much because I think all the teams are pretty good. But I think it's got some pretty glaring weaknesses.
Yeah, I do like it better than Termnal's team as well, but I also want to put it in C tier, so I'm going to move Termnal down as well. All right. Who's next? Three more?
Correct.
3 more.
We have Canner, who just... I did it again. Who had a video that just came out.
Draft and Gengars.
God, I love that first pick.
It's Buzzwole, baby.
Oh, it's so good.
That's a big team.
Put it on the logo. Just do it. Who cares if he wins? Just put it on the logo.
What do we think of this team? Kangaskhan is great. Gillespie and Archeops, both as like negative ability Pokemon that ideally you want to see a Weezing next to, but Emergency Exit actually isn't as bad as people make it out to be in their heads. And also Archeops' special attack stat is 112. So
that's stupid.
Just
it gets Meteor Beam.
Run Roost or something, or just set a Tailwind as you're at the end. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think another thing to note on this team is the first pick is quad flying weak, and then there's only one other weakness on the team to flying. which is I think very smart and probably.
Yeah, he's got that with
actually
both his weaknesses, huh? The quads.
Yeah.
Really well covered.
Yeah.
It's generally a very good team for Buzzwole. I will
Yeah,
commend that.
Yeah.
Just bring Growl
Valiant's
against
good.
this team, right?
Holy shit! Look at that attack.
Yeah.
Wow.
101.
But you're good. You just growl him, and then he's not doing anything.
Not against Bisharp.
I've learned that. the hard way.
True, you're right.
Last time he had
Stop
Bisharp.
talking.
Yeah, Bisharp dies to Mach Punch.
Yeah.
Not always, my friend.
Dies to
It does.
Bisharp does to everything. If I couldn't make Bisharp good in the almost any ability tournament that we did, like, then Bisharp is just needs better stats or something.
I think it's kind of good on a team that's like
bet
begging
it's
to
gonna
be
be good.
intimidated, you know?
In Mix and Mega. In
Definitely good
BBLF.
deterrent, especially with how strong its priority can be.
Yeah. If we've got we've got Tailwind with Bisharp, like we can just give it a life orb and not like you can't hit me if you're dead type situation.
Yeah.
And how many steel types do we even have that are, you know, a high enough power level to like compare to Bisharp, right? There's not very many. Magnezone, Registeel, Kling Kling,
Alolan Sandslash is in the division. Duraludon is in the division. Durant.
yeah, not a
Cinderace.
lot. Not a lot of fire types. You know, it's the 4 times a week to fighting is kind of rough, but I
And a
think
Alolan Dug Trio.
I think it's gonna be decent on this team.
I think,
So a lot of okay steel types, not a lot of great ones.
I'm looking for a weakness besides the fact that it is generally weak, it is generally physical dominant. But like we have a Trick Room mode here. Like we have a Duosion, Golisopod, Powdon. We can't just set Trick Room and win against this team. We can't just intimidate it. We can't just Iron Defense because there's a couple of special attackers worth respecting here. Like the Azelf and the Archeop.
Sure.
So like this is a team that I'm like I wanted to be like it looks like, so these are janky mods. Like that's my opinion.
It looks bad. It looks
like it's not that good, but
Yeah.
it has a lot going for it, I think.
And he has a couple mods that can run Brick Break because I think people are gonna like screens against this team too.
yeah.
So you know,
Yeah, to try
he
and
might
deal
run
with
Brick
that,
Break.
deal with that.
Oh, wait.
offensive might.
I never realized Defeatist cuts special attack also. It's not like Slow Start where it's, you know, only cares about physical stuff.
Yeah, defeat.
I'm gonna look and see if we have Heal Pulse or Life Dew. Just do Mimit. Ignore me.
Hazel maybe.
Oh yeah, I can't do it here.
Oh, it's not even on the dock.
I think this is a team that could surprise me. I don't think it's super strong.
Azelf gets Heal Pulse.
That's good.
That makes
Fast
sense.
Heal Pulse.
Yeah.
Into Head Smash again. I mean, we can Roost. I wish we had another Fake Out because a lot of these mons are like not gonna live a hit.
Azelf also gets Life Deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like
a lot
this-
of frail
this-
stuff.
yeah.
It's super physically aggressive. It's got a Pokemon that can set Tailwind and die.
This is a bit of a stupid question. Does anything on this team get Safeguard? Because this team's just asking to be burned.
Bro.
True.
Oh, you can't search it.
Not on the dock.
Yeah. I'd be surprised.
I'm gonna guess Azelf learns everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's what I'm
True.
thinking.
Azelf or Kangaskhan, one of them probably gets it. that'd be
Azelf does.
That's probably worth a move.
Kang
slot.
also does.
yeah,
Hell
Kang gonna be a hero on this team. If you
Yeah.
use Kang well and not just as like last resort, though that is a good set. Like Kang can protect mons here. It can Icy Wind, so you don't just need to do like Tailwind, and Archeops can hit things instead. We got a Sand Rush mode. We got a lot going for this team. I think
Sharp.
It's gonna be kind of like really hard to play at times. To pilot this team, but I think it's got plenty going for it.
Dang,
Like
everything gets Safeguard.
team.
Golisopod gets it. Bisharp gets it. Azelf, Kangaskhan.
Okay, then we're good then.
2 leads that ignore Fake Out
Yeah.
with Inner Focus if you want to run that. Yeah, there's.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that we had a more mature reaction. Like at the start, like we're all like, "What the hell is this team?" We all kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
We didn't spend much more than 5 minutes doing it. So
Yeah, I don't think it's an S tier team, but it's definitely not a D tier team.
Yeah, I think it's probably high middle for me. I think this team
I have it like smack in the middle.
Yeah, I'll put him in B tier. I think Steve's team, even though I was not particularly kind to it, I think Steve's team's better. I'm going to put it in between Steve and Heaven. Wormadams and French Frillishes.
I have it in high C, but just because I think the other teams are a little more well-rounded. I think this team has like a pretty glaring special weakness, offensively and defensively.
Sounds like the average is high B. All right. Ooh, next up is our good friend Poppin.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I hate that guy.
we need to bring everything down a little bit to make room for Poppin.
Uh,
Don't look at the red.
S for Sableye, right?
And Blacephalon.
Oh my god, this team is so good.
This team scares me.
Spritzy is a top 3 fairy. Have you guys heard?
I heard that. I heard somebody say that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
wise man
you
once
should probably
said.
subscribe to them.
Poppin likes his extremes. But it's a really good team at taking advantage of extremes. Like Sableye Blacephalon is a really good start. Hydreigon, really good protection for ghosts. I think, this is the season of the dragon. Poppin did his research, and I think it shows here. Just as in mons that are really hard to beat, not like in general, but in particular, given the limitations of the format. Like the Venusaur, I don't really believe in Venusaur, but with a Sableye, like I believe with weather modes, you just shouldn't go too overboard with them, because people need to respect a 290 speed sleep powder, even if nothing really else is going on.
It goes that fast?
Yes.
I haven't actually counted that yet. I'll keep that in the back of my mind.
Okay, so
Venusaur's good.
Poppin has one of the very rare teams in the league that has super high special attack, right? He's very threatening on the special side, but in terms of physical attack, it doesn't look nearly as scary because Blacephalon's physical move pool is not crazy as far as I can remember.
Depressingly bad.
Right.
It's Shadow Claw, and that's it.
Yeah, and behind that you have Dugtrio, Hydreigon, which again I don't think its physical pool is anywhere near as strong as its special pool. And Dugtrio, might get one solid hit in, but that thing is frail beyond belief, right?
Yeah.
A team you're actually going to bring your light screens and snarls and your impulses against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you check and see if I have anything to get Haze, by the way?
Yeah, sure.
Poppin knows his team really well.
I do. Hey, there he is.
Quagsire, baby.
Quagsire is actually, I think, going to be really good this season.
Yeah,
I hope.
Sableye, Blacephalon, Noivern, tons of awesome synergies in those first 3 picks. I mean, the Mind Blown Telepathy, the Boom Burst with Sableye and like with 2 ghosts.
Yeah.
It's excellent. And, I mean, I went for some similar things with my Sableye, Noivern, and a second dragon, and a Sun Abuser. Didn't go for the 3rd dragon.
Gotta go.
So look, we have
Yeah.
a ton of turn 1 pressure with these top mons, but like there's also like turn 2 and 3 pressure. Like there's Wall Rain after a Belly Drum or a Swords Dance or a whatever else boosting moves. There's like Orbeetle after Calm Mind. There's Appleton with whatever the hell it does. I think it does like Leech Seed, Iron Defense, Body Press.
Apple Acid.
Appleton's sick for one reason. He gets that like super acid spray.
Apple Acid,
Uh,
yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I think Appleton, Quagsire, and Orbeetle were a little bit maybe undervalued on the tier list. I think Orbeetle could actually be really good in this format too.
Yeah, I think Orbeetle's really good. I thought about drafting it. I mean, if you ignore Swarm, it has 2 very, very useful abilities in doubles. So, on top of, Trick Room, and then having...
So, yeah, second Telepathy user, too.
Yep.
Crazy.
Right.
I like Walrein as an ice resist. The ×8 resist is a little bit overkill. Like, you can probably run Oblivious most of the time.
Yes.
Rarely will you actually need the thick fat, unless you want, I guess, maybe to put it next to Mind Blown Blacephalon or something like that. But like generally you're not going to need the thick fat. You get to take advantage of the other good ability. I do
thick fat
like
really only help against a fire type, honestly, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's not many.
So extreme strengths. I'm still gonna try to poke holes. Sorry, Poppin. But
Do it.
like
I
dazzling,
need to be brought down.
like I'm still gonna spam dazzling gleam in front of the team because there's no wide guard and lots of fairy weeks. Like I'm still gonna try to go first, even though Sableye is gonna mess with it. If I throw out two strong attackers, a lot of these mons can't take a hit. And like I want to throw out fast offense into this team because like I can't let Walrein or Orbeetle get going. And so like this is gonna be a shootout kind of team, and it's gonna lose some of those shootouts. So like it's gonna be volatile. So like making a deep playoff run, like gonna require great building, which we've seen from Poppin sometimes. So
Shucks.
Poppin will be in the playoff contention like he is every season.
Every single time, yeah.
Well, we got playing Grands for the Sableye Noivern double feature. So
That's why we're gonna meet in grand finals, my man.
Yeah, there's a problem with rock moves on this team because Doug Trio is 4 times resist, but it's still gonna fucking die to a rock slide, right? Unquestionably.
Slander. No, I think it's bad too.
Right? We have a fairy weakness that's a little bit of a problem here. Ice weakness, yeah, you have Walrein, but I mean, how strong is Walrein really? That's not like a bring every week kind of mod, right?
Right.
So there's definitely some weaknesses in this team. It's very explosive. Hydreigon is going to be really good against almost all of your opponents, right? There's not a lot of fairies running around, and that thing is surprisingly bulky and hits really hard. It gets nasty plot too, so that thing could definitely run through teams.
98 speed is nothing to scoff at either.
Yeah.
Good team. Make room in S tier, I think.
Damn, you guys are
Otherwise-
giving S tier to everybody, huh?
yeah, I don't.
Well,
I don't
I've
think
slid
it's
down a
S
couple of
team.
teams out of S tier, BBRAFF. Just
The higher I get
dropping my
ranked,
A
the
tier.
worse I do. So don't rank me high.
But I like.
Put Poppin at the top.
So I think
No.
it's either. Who do I like more?
I was kidding. Goose.
Yeah, I like Poppin's team more than BBRAFF's. So Poppin gets to go to the top of A.
Oh,
for
keep
me.
it down there, Goose.
No.
I actually put Poppin at the top of B. I think I like Sly's team a little bit better, personally.
Really?
I don't think it's bad. I don't really think any of these teams are bad.
What happened to
necessarily,
straight to D?
Yeah, I only have one team in D tier right now, so I might have to move these around a little bit.
Yeah,
Bump everybody down one except Steve.
That's what the S tier stands for.
That's right, Steve tier.
Only Steve.
Finish strong. Welcome
Yeah.
back to the league, you boy.
Oh, we
Been a
missed
while.
you.
We missed you.
Since
Your boy
season
did that-
2,
do you-
right?
Yeah, do you remember
Yeah.
when your boy did the interviews? That was epic. I
That was
loved
so
that.
sick.
Oh,
the
yeah.
original finals host.
I really enjoyed that. I had a good time with that. I hope he does it again sometime.
Like 4 finals this year, perhaps?
Yes.
That'd be sick.
Oh my god, was that season 2, Poppin, when we did the big, where we wore
might
like
have been.
suits and
I think
Hawaiian
so, yeah.
shirts and shit? Oh my god,
I'm ready.
that was amazing.
I'm ready to get my suit back on. See if I still fit in it.
That was such a good time.
All right.
Don't draft
20
Duraludon first pick.
Taurus.
Start right out there.
Definitely don't do that.
Yeah, I sat there in the morning, like, trying to justify Duraludon for, like, a straight hour. It was my longest gap between picks, and then I went with Turtonator instead. Like, the mod can't do it. Oh, my God. That special bulk. It can hit. So here's the thing. We can make Duraludon work if we have good disruption and speed control. And so I see triple fake out. That's good. That's a good start. Do I see Tailwind off Torn? Okay. We have good support for Duraludon. I'm starting to feel happier. We have good icy winds. Okay. All right. Show us the power of Duraludon, you boy.
So I had Duraludon with Thunderous and Alolan Persian as the like primary speed control supports, right?
Mhm.
Scary Faces or Thunder Waves and then
Premium speed control.
yeah, like very good speed control. And I was often still disappointed in it. It just feels like it needs 1 or 2 more good coverage moves. Like it just always felt like it wasn't quite doing what I wanted it to. Not to say it's bad, but I think I agree that it probably shouldn't have been a round 1 pick.
Yeah, speed control can only go so far, right? Because if you're not taking a one-hit KO, you're still going to need to take a hit, and it can't really do that.
I'm a big fan of Duraludon in this format. I was considering it. So my original plan was going to be Sableye, Blacephalon, and then Big Dragon. And it was going to be Duraludon because I think with the dearth of fairies, Draco Meteor hits everything, two-shots everything. The other coverage move, it gets like what? Steel Beam. Steel Beam kind of sucks. But you have the Thunderbolt, right? Duraludon gets electric moves?
Yep.
Right?
It's electric,
exactly
dark,
4 special types.
Yeah, electric,
Perfect.
dark, steel, and dragon.
And I think that's enough.
It
In
does
a normal
cover
format,
Yes,
never.
sorry.
But I think this actually, I don't know. I have hope for Duraludon, and especially with what you're saying, how well this team can support it. I think.
Yeah, look how he covers for its
I was
weaknesses,
just
right?
about to say
Especially
that.
ground. Look
Yeah.
at those
Mhm.
immunities.
That's
You know what I
insane.
mean? And then fighting.
6
he has
helping hands
resistances.
to make sure that it takes an Oko.
True support.
Yeah, and he's gonna need all 6.
That's a lot of cheerleaders.
I think this,
Yeah,
this team is just super wide. I mean, not having
I think
a
the
pick
team
for
is
13.
good, right?
Yeah.
Lots of good fake out. Tornadus, Tauros has never looked better than on this draft board.
Agreed.
I think a lot of people were looking at Tauros.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
For
so
sure.
close, man.
I was looking at all
Sorry,
3
Jordan.
cows at one point or another. Tauros,
Same.
Bufalon, and Miltank.
Mm-hmm.
I think War Turtle is actually really good support too.
Yeah, dude, I can't
Man.
say enough good things
Very
about
good.
Wartortle.
Oh,
That is my favorite mon in VGC.
I
When
like
it gets
it,
follow
too.
me. When it doesn't get follow me, it's like number 2.
Yeah, well, I picked it up one season, and it didn't have Follow Me, but just like the fake out, and with Eviolite, it's really bulky, and then it gets Aqua Jet, and it gets Yawn. It gets a lot of like crazy support stuff. I thought it was really strong even when I used it, and it was like Dynamax format. So I think it's just going to be stronger in this format.
Yeah, Wartortle has just enough, like just barely enough attack where it can do not 0 damage with Scald and Surf, and I think it gets Hydro Cannon and Galar. Is that right, or is that only National Dex?
Good question.
That's a fantastic question. I don't know if I don't think
Because-
I don't think it'll show up here.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh,
But
just Hydro
like,
Pump.
Does Impidimp do anything?
Impidimp doesn't get as many moves as
It-
Morgrim. It's
It
really
does,
depressing.
and Morgrim does not get as many as Grimmsnarl. So
It just barely fills out a prankster move pool. It's like fake out, T-Wave, fake tears. It's
It
like
screens, right?
no, it does not, unfortunately.
Right,
guys.
Screens,
yeah.
screens.
Yeah, so it's a very sad Pokemon, but like it is still bringable.
Yeah, I mean, any Pokemon becomes bringable with Prankster.
True.
Impidimp test that theory. So
Yeah.
here's my overall concern. Like,
Impidimp.
where's the power? Like, who's taking Okos?
Yeah.
Like, we have Helping Hand, but like a lot of these mons are gonna fail to get an Oko with Helping Hand.
Does Jinx get Frost Breath? Because then the answer is Tauros.
no, it does not.
Oh, then the answer's
No.
not Tauros.
I looked specifically because I was interested in Tauros too, so it does not.
I think we're lacking a little bit of oomph. Like,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Rotom-Mow, like we don't want to have to click Leaf Storm to get an Oko.
Also, we're lacking a little bit of tankiness. I mean, Cofagrigus is going to tank some hits, but I mean, the bulk on this team is not really insane either.
A lot of the bulk seems to be like Eviolite bulk. It seems like.
Right.
It's the bulkiest. It's probably with Eviolite or Turtle.
Probably
Then
Wartortle, yeah.
Girder and
maybe
Wartortle,
is
yeah.
Nidoqueen next?
Nidoqueen, Cofagrigus, they're like moderately bulky, right?
Yeah.
Tauros within.
Scyther's really good for 4 points. I gotta say that was a good tip. That's a good pick.
Yeah,
Fast enough to not get hit by Rock Slide first.
Yeah,
Most
maybe
of
a
the
little
time.
early, but
yeah, I was shocked
yeah.
seeing it at pick 5, but
Mhm.
he must know something I don't. If somebody said the word value team, this is probably what I imagined. Like,
And look, he's got 3 points left.
yeah,
that's
this is
giga
like
value.
this is like
Ben knows.
super wide. Could bring any of these
3
mons.
points left. All right, let's do a little bit of free agency advice here. With 3 points
There's
left.
definitely room to get a big
Yeah.
offensive stat and shove it onto this team.
Absolutely
Yeah.
agree with Jordan.
Return.
I think he needs a big sweeping threat.
There's a certain if you want to go the double dragon route, as I'd highly recommend. There's a Tyrannosaurus Rex waiting at 7 points.
If
Only
you
one
do
Cypher
that,
away.
Why not?
Sam is going to
Because
be
he's got
so
speed
happy.
control and fake out. Like, honestly, just like it doesn't even need to make sense type wise with the team. Just throw it on the team and start taking Okos that you otherwise wouldn't be taking. That would be my base.
One thing I will
Yeah,
point out in terms
ahead,
of like
please.
damage output is we have 3 sheer force mons and a technician mon, so I don't think the stats necessarily fully represent the damage that could be done by this team.
Yeah.
Just to be a little fair.
That is fair. I mean, like a lot of teams have, like, you got to look beyond the numbers. Like, I don't think this team has any like 2x's or 1.5x's. Like, we do need to self will-o-wisp our girder if we want guts and eviolate at the same time. But like we're gonna hope that Helping Hand, and if you boy like Calcs and Helping Hand and Okos with Helping Hand, then this team's really good. And if it fails to Oko with Helping Hand, then it's gonna struggle.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yep, I agree.
I have it below Canner.
Yeah, I was just thinking Canner was what I wanted to judge it against. I think I like Canner's team more as well. So, bang. Do I want to do any adjustments? Do I want to bring Slide down?
Got a lot of A tier teams up here.
Yeah, I think I do actually. I want to bring Sly down 1. I'm gonna bring Dustin down 1. I'm gonna bring Mono down 1. Oof! Look at that beautiful bell curve. Do I want to bring Mono down 1? Yes, I do.
True Bill.
All right, obligatory disclaimer. If your team was not ranked poorly, this is not a reflection of you, and it means that you get to overperform your draft ranking, and there's nothing cooler than doing that. We wish everyone a best of luck, and this drafting is really hard, especially in this format. It's going to be a happy season.
Yeah, and it doesn't really matter where people rank you. We've had teams ranked literally at the bottom that make playoffs, and we've had teams ranked at the top or near the top that go 1 and 6.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I've
Some
been
people
that
put
team.
me in the top 4 last season, and I underperformed dramatically. Right.
I was Jordan's 2 of 16 in the BDSP season and went 1 and 6.
I haven't done great with my 2 spots. It's fine.
A convincing 1 and 6 too, by the way.
All right.
Yeah.
Shall we say our farewells? Farewell!
Awesome. Yeah.
All right. Love you guys.
Everybody sub to Goose. His subscriber numbers do not reflect the full quantity of members in this Discord. So,
And also, I just want to chime in real quick. Goose, I just want to pat you on the back a little bit. Since you came to the league, everybody is just like, this guy is freaking awesome. You make great content. We really like having you here. We like your positive spirit. We really appreciate you hosting stuff like this. So we're happy to have you, man. I'm really glad you're here.
Hey, I'm happy to be here, and you know what? I gotta rise to the level of the people around me, so I think you guys gotta pat yourselves on the back too.
Oh.
That's why we love you, man.
sounds great.
You'll learn
See you
from
in a
the
couple
best,
of days.
baby!
Daddy conference. We might try to be faster. We'll see. But also there'll be a special guest who is an old but hasn't done one of these before, but you're going to want to see him.
Let's go.
Ooh,
Suspense.
the intrigue.
Hell yeah, well thank you everybody, and we'll see you around. Sub to everybody else too. See ya!
Later.